Hi guys, something a little bit different from me today. I do one little word just about every year, some years more successfully than others, and last year was an appalling failure. So this year I have decided that I'm going to film my process, and hopefully that will keep me a little bit more accountable. So this is how I'm doing my one little word project this year. I've got a pocket page notebook, and I have removed the front cover and added my own cover. And in the back of this traveler's notebook, which is this gorgeous cover from the Stamp Spot as well, I've just put an insert that is some heavy duty watercolor paper, just in case I decide I want to do some maybe quotes or some mixed media things. But my main project is going to be in this pocket page notebook. So I'm just starting out with the January prompts. I have actually done most of the journaling for the January prompts, so I'm just going to show you here how I'm putting together my notebook. So I've printed out a couple of the digitals. I didn't buy the physical kit this year, so I'm just working with the digital elements. So I created a couple of 4x6 canvases, and the first one I've just added one little word to the bottom of it, and I'm going to use these teal blue letter stickers here to put in my word, which luckily just fits. So my word for this year is balance. And before I stick this down, I'm just going to add a little bit of stitching around the outside just to give it a little bit of texture, and then I'm going to glue that into the front page of my pocket page notebook. If you don't know what one little word is, I will leave the link down below to Ellie Edwards' website, where she explains the project in its entirety. Now on this inside page here, I've already printed out a photo of myself, which I took on the 1st of January, and I've printed that on vellum and slipped that into the pocket of the pocket page notebook. So it's going to show through on both sides. So the group theme for this year is the beauty of becoming, so I really liked that theme, so I've printed that out on a 4x6 as well, and I've just trimmed that down to fit and added that same stitching, and then I'm going to stick that onto the inside too. So on the other side of this vellum selfie, I'm going to do my quote, and here you can see I've done the rest of my journaling from this month's prompts, and I just had redesigned those handouts so that they fit into the pockets there, and I had also grabbed a stamp set that had all those other words, so I didn't need to resize the cards from this month. I just stamped out each one and then did my journaling underneath. So for this last blank page, I'm going to add in the last prompt for this month, which was a quote from your word, and I'm going to use this Feed Your Craft set. You can see I've got a little basket there where I've got my stuff that's going to be specifically for my one little word project, and this Feed Your Craft stamp set came actually just yesterday, so I popped that in there because I think this elf is going to be a perfect size for this sort of thing, doing little quotes in this notebook. So I've written my quote down just on a piece of scrap paper there to make sure I get it all right, and then I'm going to speed this up considerably because this did take me quite a while to stamp out, but I do love the end result, and while I'm stamping it gives me time to just sort of reflect on the quote and the word and the process that I've gone through to put these pages together. So the thing I like about this notebook as opposed to the pocket page album, because I do still have an album sitting there that I could have used, but I just find the album a little bit intimidating maybe, or a little bit too structured. So I think I'm gonna like using this notebook just so it's a bit more free, so I can do these extra pages as I want to and make it a little bit more creative, and maybe add pages outside of the monthly prompts as well, to make it more of a go-to notebook for my word. If I fill this notebook up, I can very easily add another one into my cover there, so I'm not worried about how many pages I'm using this month. And so that is finally the end of my quote there, which I really like. Last year was a really extreme year for me, extreme highs and lows, and it has left me exhausted, emotionally and physically exhausted. And so this year I'm hoping for a little bit more balance. So that was why I chose this word. I just need to take a bit more care of myself and to balance out my work-life priorities a little bit more. So I'm hopeful. I have crashed and burned with these words before, last year being a classic example. I did still keep my word with me during the year, but as far as the prompts from the class went, I think I failed at about March and never picked it up again. So this year I'm hoping you guys will keep me accountable for doing this each month, because it is such a helpful process. So here is my whole pile of pages for January. And I am looking forward to seeing where this word takes me throughout the rest of the year. Let me know if you're doing one little word and what your word is. I think it's a great way if we can keep each other accountable for it. And have you considered doing it in a pocket page notebook or a traveler's notebook, or are you going classic album this year? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's a couple more videos on screen if you want to keep watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!